At number 10, we have a tourist making the Queen's Guard laugh. This clip went viral before because this funny tourist approaches this royal guard and makes him actually laugh. The tourist makes up some kind of story trying to say how he used to know the guard, and at the mention of both of them going to Kensington for school, he busts up laughing.
Him up from school. You know, he's that type of guy until he was 20. His mother picked him up from school.
At number 9, there's this tourist taking a photo with his family in front of a Queen's Guard. You can see the look of mischief on the man's face as he gets the not so smart idea to touch the sword the guard is holding, which prompts him to quickly give a glare at the man. The tourist quickly retreats his hand and just smiles for the photo. Number 8, we have this hilarious video of a royal guard making faces at a tourist. The tourist confusingly makes remarks wondering if the guard can see him or not from far away, and the guard confirms it by sticking his tongue out. He also leans onto the side of his post and pretends to be asleep.
Look, he's sticking his tongue out, you see that? Look, he's sticking his tongue out.
At number 7, we have this clip of tourists taking pictures with the King's Guard, when all of a sudden the guard tells a sweet old lady that she sounds just like his mum. The tourist laughs and thanks him, all the while he is smiling and laughing to himself. At number 6, we have a YouTuber called 100 Things, attempting to make a royal guard laugh. His 81st goal on his list of things to do is to make a guard at Buckingham Palace laugh, and attempt to do so with a joke book, and by dressing up as Elmo and doing the worm. None of these seem to work, as the guards are all stone-faced.
Hello, my name's Elmo, and I feel like an idiot.
At number 5, we have famous YouTuber and streamer Gideon, who heads to Buckingham Palace with a slew of creative ideas on how to make the guards laugh and move around. He has a bag filled with props and gags and begins to cause a disturbance as he attempts to tickle a guard with a feather from behind a fence. This causes him to get kicked out of the palace.
Tickle, tickle.
Get back! No!
I'm just trying to make that.
At number 4, we have this guy dancing and singing in front of 2 royal guards. He doesn't get much of a reaction for a while, but every guard has their limit as one of them stomps his boot and tells him to move and basically get lost.
Get yourself away! You can't be done that yesterday, I know! Do it one!
At number 3, here's a kid dressed up in his very own royal guard uniform. He stands at attention and salutes to a group of royal guards walking into a building, and one of them turns back to take a photo with the respectful young man. Here at number 2, we have a couple of royal guards definitely having more fun than they should on their job. While walking around, they face each other and start doing push-ups for the crowd. They get back up and do a star jump before going back to work. Number 1, we have a great video of a professional dancer busting a move in front of a guard. What starts as a tourist breaking it down turns into a dance battle between the royal guard and the tourist. The royal guard performs the floss and other various shuffle moves with great reception.
This group of people is seen standing in front of one of the guards and laughing and making fun of him. As he started to get sick of it, he walked away, and with good reason. A few members of the group, however, were heard yelling at him as he walked away because they were trying to get a photo. The group kept harassing him, and he walked back and forth until he yelled at them to step back.
Step back from the Winter Castle Guard!
Here we have a couple of kids making a fool of a royal guard, actively laughing at him and intentionally leaning on and touching the fence. The guard stomps his way to the kids and shows them how scary he can be, yelling at them to get off the fence.
Get off the fence!
During what looks like some kind of parade, a man started yelling and undressing in front of the Queen and many royal guards. Thankfully though, he paid the price and was forcefully removed from the event.
Yeah, man,
In this clip, a woman has thrown her glove at a guard and expects him to pick it up. Moments after the glove is thrown, someone who works at the palace approaches the woman and asks why she threw her glove. He argues with her, saying the guard serves the country and isn't there to be made fun of. The nice man then grabs her glove for her, and you can see the royal guard stomp the ground, clearly disapproving of her actions. Supposedly, she was also yelling at him before she threw her glove, just completely disrespecting the guard. Now this one, I'm not sure if it's a real guard because the TikTok was posted with the word prank, but if it was, it's nuts, so I thought I'd put it in anyway. A man was seen mocking, dancing in front of, and yelling at what looks like a royal guard. The supposed guard then yells twice and then punches the man, seemingly knocking him unconscious. The royal guard was playing the bugle. A little kid had yelled at the guard to shut up. It's a little hard to hear over the playing, but you can still kind of hear it. I mean, I didn't think the playing was that bad, but clearly this kid did. Here we have another lady attempting to get a reaction out of a royal guard. This time she's dancing all over the place and keeps staring back at the guard, seemingly expecting him to just join in. As she dances, her friend films the whole thing to make fun of this poor soldier, and he understandably stomps his boot, repositions his rifle, and walks off. This teen seems to think he's friends with the royal guard in this video. He walks up and down the road with him, all the while copying the guard's movements, swinging his arms and such. All is well until the teen reaches over and places a hand on the guard's shoulder, on the side where his rifle is placed. The guard is having none of this and then points it in the teen's direction to scare him.
Get back from the Queen's Guard!
Here's another reason to not stand in the way of the royal guards. In this video, we have a woman along with a whole cluster of tourists standing in the way of a royal guard. It doesn't seem like they know they're in the way until the guard yells out to stand clear, and he completely shoves one woman who didn't react fast enough.
Stand clear!
Lastly, at the Queen's procession, a man was seen and heard yelling at Prince Andrew. It said that he was yelling due to Prince Andrew's extreme controversy. The man who yelled was then taken away and thrown to the ground by police, pedestrians, and guards.
At number 10, this old photographer. Surrounding the man are numerous people, clearly making room and clearing a path for a large patrol of royal guards. The photographer just stands in the middle of the path, ignoring the guards. The man appears to think that the guards will go around him, but if you're there to take photos of Buckingham Palace and its guards, you should already know that they don't move for anybody. In the end, he gets shoved by the patrol and takes a tumble. I hope his expensive camera's okay. At number 9, this clip of a tourist Ken completely disregarding the authority of the royal guards. When a royal guard yells to make way, you should make way. It's actually a privilege for them to warn you that you're in the way in the first place, and not just run you over for being there. After this small group of guards yell make way to this crowd, a tourist throws up his hands and pretends to be scared by them as he walks across the path of the guards.
Make way!
At number 8, this tourist stands in the way of this royal guard taking a walk. Why do people keep getting in the path of the royal guards? This time, no one was pushed or shoved, but this guy might have nightmares at night now. As the guard approaches, he says nothing, then just stops in front of the man and stares into his soul for a solid while. He eventually steps to the side and continues his round, as the tourist walks up to his friends and complains about the guard as if he wasn't the problem at all. At number 7, this clip starts with a bunch of laughter from a whole group of Karens. Some of them record a mounted royal guard as he stands post. All of a sudden, one of the Karen group members begins to break a dance down. Well, it looks more like an animated sneeze. She then takes her luggage and her group of friends off to explore more of the palace. The royal guard holds the most unentertained look on his face the entire time. At number 6, this poor kid gets her hat knocked off by a saluting guard. Although she's just a child, she should have been warned by her parents at least to not stand so close to the royal guard. The kid is the daughter of Maisie, the Sergeant General, who is visiting the Queen, and the cute kid even brought a bouquet of flowers to give to Her Royal Highness. The kid even does a small curtsy when the Queen takes the bouquet. The royal guard stands there unfazed, and the child walks back to her parents while not crying. What a trooper. At number 5, this intoxicated man makes the mistake of attempting to pet the royal guard's police horse. You can see him contemplate for just a moment if he should do it or not, and he clearly makes the wrong decision. He slowly wobbles over to the horse and pats it on the neck and the mane. This is when the guard atop the horse yells at him to get back. He repeats it again before someone grabs the man and moves him slowly away from the horse. The horses of the royal guard are not pets and should not be patted by the tourists. At number 4, another clip of a tourist trying to touch the royal guard's horse. The tourist Karen walks up to the post of the guard and the horse gets visibly agitated by her presence already, shaking its head around. She then gets closer and closer until she places her hand on the horse and pets it a few times before walking off. The horse then goes into a mad rage and shakes its head up and down and side to side. Why can't some people just keep their hands to themselves? At number 3, these bicycle riding Karens decide to park themselves while on their bike right in the place of where this royal guard is walking to. As the royal guard approaches, he parts the sea of people without saying a word. Then he gets to the bikers and they just sit there as he stomps his boot, clearly ignoring him without a care in the world. Thankfully, others notice this and tell the girls to move so the guard can stand his post. They both ride off after one of them apologizes. At number 2, this guard is getting ridiculed by a group of tourists outside of a fence near Buckingham Palace. A group of Karens, Kens, and their offspring are recording and talking amongst themselves about this guard. The dutiful man yells at them to get off the fence multiple times. Clearly, they aren't getting the message. The situation escalates when the palace guard points his rifle at the group and they laugh at him as he yells more. How they weren't intimidated by the guard astonishes me.
Stay off the back!
At number 1, this Ken runs a full sprint at a group of royal guards. This patrol of royal guards are standing still when a man disobeys the law and sprints at them. Thankfully, a police officer apprehends the man before he can get to them, but he clearly looked like he wanted to fight them. The policeman tackles him, pins him to the ground, and cuffs him, and it was found out later that the man had a bag with him, perhaps filled with weapons he was going to use against the guards. The police officer really saved the day here. Good work, sir.
TikTok users have branded a London guard out of order after a video went viral of a child being knocked over. In the footage, onlookers in the grounds of the Tower of London yell as the guard collides with the young boy, said to be a tourist, before continuing to walk on despite the boy falling to the ground. In a statement on a Tower of London spokesperson said, "We are aware of this incident and we are sorry to see this. The guard at the tower do take care to warn the public when they are moving. And this was an unfortunate accident. Our staff and the soldier checked in on the family afterwards and were reassured that all is well." While some viewers have shared their shock at the incident, others have jumped onto the soldier's defense, saying he was just doing his job. This woman was trying to get a picture with the building in the background, but she totally ignored the line of rope that she's supposed to stand behind it, and so she got pushed. The crazy part is she acts surprised, but like, what do you think the rope is there for? Don't want to get pushed? Don't cross the line. It's that simple. Surrounding this man are numerous people clearly making way and clearing the path for a large patrol of royal guards. A photographer just stands in the middle of the path, ignoring the guards. The man appears to think the guards will go around him, but if you're there to take photos of Buckingham Palace and its guards, you should already know that they don't move for anybody. In the end, he gets shoved by the patrol and takes a bad fall. This This woman was just standing in a crowd of people thinking she wasn't doing anything wrong, or was in anyone's way when all of a sudden she gets pushed. This young girl was trying to get a photo with some guards, but this guard wasn't really in the mood for a photo op. He seemed to give her a firm pat on the arm to tell her to move away. This teen seems to think that he's friends with the royal guard in this video. He walks up and down the road with him, all the while copying the guard's movements, swaying his arms and such. All is well until the teen reaches over and places a hand on the guard's shoulder, on the side where his rifle is placed. The guard is having none of this and points it in the teen's direction to scare him.
Get back from the Queen's Guard!
This woman wanted to get a picture with a guard, and the guard thought she was a little too close, but instead of doing something extreme, he unclenched his fist and lightly pushed her to the side. This one seems like a more calm moment when a guard pushed a tourist. This group wanted a photo with a guard, which would be fine, but one of the boys decided to lean on the guard's shoulder for the photo, to which the guard wasn't happy about. He shoved him out of the way, which left everyone in shock. This tourist stupidly tried to see how close he could get until the guards took action, and so he waited until they did so. When he got too close, one of the guards ended up pushing him out of the way. I mean, why can't you let these people do their jobs? Seriously. Now this one, I'm not sure if it's a real guard because the TikTok was posted with the word prank, but if it is, it's nuts, so I thought I'd put it in anyway. A man is seen mocking, dancing in front of, and yelling at what looks like a royal guard. The supposed guard then yells twice and then punches the man, seemingly knocking him unconscious.
Hey, listen, he's doing his job, don't be an idiot.
You can't do nothing.
But that is all, thanks for watching and we will see you next time.
Number 10, don't dance in front of them. Back in 2017, a tourist was standing in front of the St. James Palace and decided to shoot a video of himself dancing. Except his dance moves didn't impress the guard and he quickly got yelled at with one of the thickest Scottish accents I've ever heard.
Oh! Get yourself away! You can't be done that you're done there, no! Do it, man!
Number 9, don't get in the way. When the guards are on their routine marches, be sure to keep them in your view because if you happen to stand in their way, you're probably going to get ran over with no regards for your safety. But hey, at least you'll get a loud warning. I've mentioned that you have to be very respectful towards the Queen's guards and all of her properties. But did you know that this also includes their own horses? In a video in front of the palace, a woman decides to take a photo in front of one of the horsemen, but instead of just keeping her distance and taking a photo, she decides to grab the horse's mantle, and this is what happens next.
Step back with where you left on! Not touch the ring!
Number 7, don't touch them. A tourist decided to do the very last thing you should do with these guards, and that is to touch them. He decided to not only follow the guard very closely, he imitated them, and then decided to give him a touch on his shoulder. Why do people want to test these people? Do they forget that they can literally shoot you dead if they wanted to? Here's the video.
Get back from the Queen's Guard!
Number 6, obnoxious students. This group of students visiting from the Netherlands decided to pay a visit to Windsor Castle back in November 2012. Except instead of a regular visit, they decided to act in the most immature way, and this is exactly what happened when they did that. Remember guys, don't be rude when you're visiting another country. Number 5, don't stand there. When you're visiting the castle, make sure to know where you're standing. If you happen to be in the wrong place, this may happen to you.
Get back!
Number 4, get back. This is another video of a tourist not knowing his boundaries, and the worst part about this video is that they were told to get back before this. They still went up close to take a photo and hope that Instagram post was worth it.
Get back! Get back!
Number 3, get off the fence. Not even children are safe when it comes to the Queen's Guards. You disobey their orders and boundaries, and I promise you, you'll get yelled at. The sad part about this video is that the guard gets laughed at the end. Like, imagine you go through all this intense training, perfecting all your movements and mannerisms, then you do your job perfectly well, and you still get laughed at.
Get off the fence!
Number 2, knocked over. This video shows the moment a member of the Queen's Guards knocked over a baby while marching. This occurred at the Tower of London, and all I can ask is, where was his parents? Number 1, even the baby. When I say no one is safe from the Queen's Guards, this also includes babies. So for all you mothers, don't be like this one. At number 10 spot, we have stopped touching their horses. When people visit the UK to view everything royal, it seems like they can't help but touch it. Maybe they want the powers of the monarchy, or maybe they're just being downright disrespectful. This Queen's Guard had to yell as loud as she could in order to get this tourist to stop touching their horse.
Get out the reins!
First of all, these are active serving service personnel and could legally stomp all over you if they wanted to. Second, this lady is standing right in front of everyone who wants to take a photo there. So she's entitled and wants to cause issues by touching the horse. When will these tourists learn? Number 9, during a parade. During the trooping of the colours, which is a parade tradition of British infantry regiments since the 17th century, the Queen was strolling in the parade when all of a sudden a man came out from the crowd and tried to assault her. Other than the fact that this guy is crazy to go against all of these guards, it's a wonder the Queen manages to stay sane with some of these people. She literally looks so calm after this ordeal that would make many of us shaking out of our boots. At number 8 spot, we have a ready firearm. I won't lie, this clip is pretty wild. But it also acted as a reminder that the Queen's Guards are allowed to shoot their firearm if you choose to disobey their commands or be completely disrespectful to them.
Чтобы, не дай бог, не потерять. Тёма, не слезь где-то. Тёма. Тёма.
Stay off the fence!
Yes. Whoa.
At first, I thought the Queen Guard did not want them to record the video, but by the end of the video, he clearly tells them to get off the fence. The video is longer than shown, but before the clip, the guard was already warning them to get off, but they were completely clueless and just stood where they were the whole time. At number 7 spot, we have personal space. Everyone needs their own personal space, but you are legally bound to give the Queen's Guards all the space they need, except when ignorant tourists visit England, they believe they can do whatever was allowed in their own countries. It seems like many of us don't know a thing about personal space, because when I saw this clip, all I could think was, why do you need to be that close, especially to one of the Queen's Guards?
Get back!
The guard tells the woman to step back, but she's completely oblivious along with the girl behind the camera. The girl in front of the camera can be seen smiling and the girl behind the camera can be heard laughing. And in my opinion, and probably 99% of others, this wasn't funny at all. Number 6, stop standing in the way. As we see on countless videos online, the Queen's Guards march in specific routes and they expect you not to get in their way. Except some still believe they are entitled to the space instead of these fully serving soldiers. This is by far the lightest punishment you'll get for doing this, because most of the time you'll probably get shoved right to the ground. I just find it crazy that the guy has the audacity not only to stand in their way, but to fire back with some comments of his own, saying something along the lines of, "I don't like to move, just move around me." I think the real hero is the patience these guards have, especially with this additional disrespect. Couldn't be me. Number 5, crowd of tourists. Just remember guys, if you're going to London, please know that these guys in the fuzzy bearskin hats are fully trained and specialized soldiers that are actively serving in the British Army. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but people just seem to never understand. A crowd of tourists in London found this out the hard way.
Pipeline!
Come on, tourist.
Despite the fact that they got out of the way, it seems like there's still no respect, especially with the guy flaring his hands up. You can even hear a remark in the background of someone calling out to the tourists. Make way for the Queen's Guards, guys. Number 4, push the way. In 2018, this video was shot showing another outcome that follows after you get in the Queen's Guard's way. The saddest part is that there's a literal rope separating the crowd from the single guard. And this lady happens to be standing on the side of the guard. Can I get an eternal facepalm? Number 3, don't imitate the Queen's Guards. So now we know that you can't stand in their way and that you can't stand too close. But what if you decide to imitate one of the Queen's Guards? The lesson of this video is that when you act like a fool, you'll get treated like a fool. Number 2, intoxicated man versus horse.
Get back! Get back from the Queen's Guard!
This guy had no idea where he was, what he was doing wrong, or what his name was. I mean, that's what it looks like in the video alone. The guard completely acted as he should, but still the man was very hesitant to let go after being yelled at. But hey, all thanks to the random stranger that pulled the intoxicated guy away, because I don't really think he would have let go if no one came to rescue. Number 1, get out the archway. When you're visiting, just stand where the crowds are and remember to stand behind any sort of barrier, because this will happen to you if you decide to snoop around on your own.
Start clearing the arches!
That's so cool! My kids will tell that at Christmas. We will.
She laughs as if it's funny to be caught trespassing. Hopefully one day we can finally respect them and their space.
The Queen's Guard is the royal security of Buckingham Palace. They are most well known for being extremely stoic and never reacting to people, or at least they try to. Sometimes they get a few Karens that try to get a reaction, and today we are counting down the top 10 Karens who messed with the Queen's security guards. In this first clip, a Karen has thrown her glove at this guard and expects him to pick it up. Someone who works at the palace approaches the woman and asks why she threw her glove. He berates her by saying the guard serves the country and isn't there to be made fun of. The nice man then grabs her glove for her and you can see the royal guard stomp the ground, clearly disapproving of her actions.
Why would you do that? The army's here to protect the crown jewels. They're not here for public to make fun of. Right? He's a soldier. He serves his country. He deserves to be treated with a little bit of respect. Throwing your gloves at him isn't going to work, is it really?
Here we have another lady attempting to get a reaction out of a royal guard. This time, she's dancing all over the place and keeps staring back at the guard, seemingly expecting him to join in. As she dances, her friend films the whole ordeal to make fun of this poor soldier, and he understandably stomps his boot, repositions his rifle, and walks off. In this clip, we have a pair, Bria and Chrissy, who actually managed to make the Royal Guard smile. The pair go on and tell jokes, saying they hate Americans just like the guard does. He eventually does actually smile, stomps his boot, and walks off. The pair then asks if they can kiss him on the cheek, which he replies to by a simple nod of the head.
I'm here with my new friend. We've been hanging out all day. We were talking about potentially going to get some drinks later. We've had a busy day, and we've hung out with the Queen, so I'm trying to remember. We've done so much today that I can't even remember everything we've done. Oh my god, you must hate Americans.
Todd, you gotta speak up, Bria.
I hate Americans for you. I'm really sorry.
Hey, if you stand in their way, do they get out of your way? Oh god, Bria. I don't think you should do it. Oh god.
Time to clear the archers!
Oh god, I'm so scared of him. He's nice. He's not gonna stab you, Bria. Why don't we stand just in front of him? Come here. Ready? He's a good sport. Alright. Maybe we can see his. Alright. Yeah.
This has to be really entertaining for him, I hope.
Hopefully. Yes! Oh my god, I can't believe you did it. You're awesome.
I love you. Did you get that on film?
Yes. Oh my god, we got a royal guard to break Karen.
Next up, we have a Karen standing completely still and mimicking the royal guard standing still. It's clear that a royal guard is approaching her from behind and his path is set. Anything that stands in the way of a royal guard will be pushed out of it, and that's exactly what he does here to the Karen who is mimicking him. Here's a man who knows how to make people mad. He walks up to the guard and gets very close, insulting him and dancing as if to ridicule the guard, and you can watch the rage meter of the guard fill up as he snaps, and he throws a punch at the man.
I'm not being harmed, just, it's fun. But he can't do nothing, he can't do...
Hey, listen, he's doing his job, don't be an idiot.
He can't do nothing. Ooh.
This teen seems to think he's friends with the royal guard in this video. He walks up and down the road with him, all the while copying the guard's movements, swinging his arms and such, and all is well until the teen reaches over and places a hand on the guard's shoulder, on the side where his rifle is placed. The guard is having none of this and points it vaguely in the teen's direction to scare him.
His gun is jammed. Can you see the knife on top of it? You can't shoot.
Get back from the Queen's Guard!
In this clip, we have a tourist with headphones taking a very close selfie with the royal guard at his post. All is well until the photo is done and the tourist walks off for a moment before coming back to attempt to touch the guard's nose. Before he touches it, the guard shouts out to not touch the royal guard, and the tourist quickly backs off.
Do not touch the Queen!
Here we have a couple of kids making a fool of the royal guard, actively laughing at him and intentionally leaning on and touching the fence. The guard stomps his way to the kids and shows them just how scary he can be, yelling at them to get them off the fence. Here's another reason to not stand in the way of the royal guards. In this video, we have a woman along with a whole cluster of tourists standing in the way of a royal guard. It doesn't seem like they know they're in the way until the guard yells out to stand clear, and he completely shoves one woman who didn't react fast enough.
Stand clear!